Adi Kavi Valmiki, Rishi Valmiki, has given this world one of the most beautiful charitras, the most beautiful narration of a manifestation of Paramatma, a manifestation of Paramatma with certain, it's called as an avatar. So the word Ramayanam means Paramatma has now manifested in a human form with the name of Rama. Paramatma has manifested on earth with the form of Sri Ram, a person who is the son of Dasharatha Maharaj and of this solar race, the Surya Vamsha. The other meaning, and Ayanam means, the word Ayanam, just like we have Uttarayanam and Dakshinayanam of the sun. Uttarayanam means a movement towards the north. When it is the south, it starts moving towards the north. Dakshinayanam is moving towards the south. So the word Ayanam has got another meaning, not just movement, it means towards Rama. Ramayanam means the path towards Rama. The word Ramayanam means the path towards Rama. What is Ram then in that case? It cannot be Ayodhya Ram, it cannot be just Dasharatha Putra Ram. The word Rama means Ramante Yogino Asminiti Ramaha, that purest form of unlimited Parabrahma Swarupa, that is residing in everybody's heart. The consciousness residing in everybody's heart, meditating upon which the rishis attained the highest good. Ramante Yogino Asmin Niti Rama. The yogis meditate upon that consciousness or Parabrahma, that is Ram. So the path towards Parabrahma. So Ramayana means the path towards highest knowledge. So Rishi Valmiki was blessed. Rishi Valmiki was blessed by Paramatma that the entire narration comes to him. So although it appears to be a story of individuals on earth, any other story also we could take, any history also we could take, it is just like any other story. Okay, there was a king, he had a son, he had 4 sons, always like a story only, but here that is not what is being conveyed. It is the different types of characters which are associated with particular Paramatma in the form of Ram. And what are they teaching to the world? Entire Ramayanam is not just a moral that you follow. It's not just an ethics which says you just follow this one. It is again a meditation just like Mahabharatam. One has to meditate upon it. Okay. Bharadwaja Rishi, the ashram of Bharadwaja Rishi in Prayag. Yajnavalkya Rishi comes there. Normally the rishis come there. And they come and then have Bhat at the Triveni Sangam. And then one day, all the rishis are gone. Yajnavalkya Rishi comes and says, Bharadwaja Rishi, you are a very, very knowledgeable person, so give me knowledge. So like this you see the motive in every single thing is give me knowledge, give me knowledge, give me knowledge. So attainment of the highest knowledge so that one does not miss any right thing, anything which is fruit, anything which is most useful for man to evolve. One should not miss anything. So the whole purpose of Ramayana and Mahabharatam is to awaken the intellect of the human being and show him the right direction. Ultimately show him the right direction. You could say, you could have read any other story also. One could have read science fiction also. One could have read fiction also. Those are also stories, they also should be giving some guidelines, but never ever they can give the guideline what Ramayana is giving. That's why they are epics. That's why they are called epics. The word epic has got one more meaning, The word epic means very, very large, very, very huge. Very, very large, very huge. So what this gives, what Mahabharata, Ramayana or Puranas or the Vedas give, no other book can give to the human being. That's why they are all called as scriptures. They are all scriptures pertaining to Paramatma, not pertaining to any manifestation as we think. It is pertaining to Paramatma directly. So now what we are reading, Sundara Kandam, is also part of that Ramayana. Out of the 7 Kandas, they are coming, the 5th Kandam is Sundara Kandam. We will continue our reading. We are on page number 42, verse number 129. Asminnevang gate karye sagarasya mamaiva cha pritim pritamanah kartum tvamarhasi mahakape. Whatever I just now told you, that I was helped by the wind god Vayu. When Indra wanted to take off my feathers, and Indra wanted to take away my faculties which I have got, by which I could fly. So it is Vayu who intervened that time and then brought me back into the Samudra. Therefore I am still with my wings only. Therefore I can come up also, I can fly also, even now I can fly. Keeping this in mind, you are Vayuputra, therefore I have offered you my hospitality. It is up to you to, definitely you must accept this hospitality. Shramam mokshya pujam cha Shramam mokshaya pujam cha Grihana kapi sattama Pritim cha bahumanyasva Pritosmi tava darshana. The people who have ever offered hospitality to anybody at home, whether they are kith and kin, remember hospitality. I remember in Indore there was a homa going on. In Indore there was a homa, very big event going on. A number of sadhus had come there for that event. So the Mahatma, who was actually the center of the institution, and the Mahatma who, because of whom the entire event is taking place, he was not at all worried about what is happening to the celebration. He was just attending to everybody's food. अरे महात्माओं को अच्छी तरह खिलाओ, आग्रह करके खिलाओ, महात्माओं को अच्छी तरह खिलाओ, आग्रह करके खिलाओ. आग्रह मीन्स थोड़ा और लीजिए, take a little more, please have a little more. Are you satisfied? Do you want anything more? What do you like most? So this is called as agraha. So hospitality, it implies that you repeatedly offer what you think might please the guest. Whatever you think might please the guest, you are going to offer that. Whatever you think, remember, truthfully not what the guest is actually wanting, but you think that the guest might need this. Would you like hot water, like coffee or tea? And the guest has got all the freedom to refuse. No, please don't. I don't worry at all. Don't worry. He can refuse. But what is your duty? The one who is offering, again say, little, have a little. So that's how the Mainaka Parvata is continuously is requesting Hanuman to accept what hospitality is offering. So he says, O best among Vanaras, reduce your petty, accept our worship also, respect our love. I am happy by your manifestations. Always, in all manners, Mainaka Parvata is slowly convincing Hanuman that he ought to accept the hospitality. Eva mukta kapi shrestha tam nagottamam abravit Pritosmi kritamadityam Manyureshopaniyata. See, Hanuman is free now. He says, Hanuman listening to the best mountain's words spoke this. I am happy. Hospitality has been done, you have offered it. I have accepted the hospitality, but that's sufficient. Now let this ill feeling be removed that you ought to do it and I have to accept it. Remove all those things. I do not have any ill feeling towards you. No, it's time for me to go. Tvarate karya kalo me ahaschapyati vartate pratignya cha maya datta He says, the time to perform my duty is hastening me. The day too is passing. A promise has also been given by me. I should not stand here in the middle neglecting my duty. I should not rest at all. Ram kaj kine binu mohe kahan vishram. Before I complete the work of Sri Ram, how can I take rest? That is the attitude of Hanuman. I have accepted this and I have also vowed that I will bring the information of Sita. I cannot rest. Ityuktva panina shailam alabhya haripungavaha jagamakashamavishya viryavan prahasanniva. Utterly dedicated, totally dedicated to this activity. The courageous Hanuman saying thus, touched the mountain with his hand, entered the sky and flew away, flew on with his mind. He did not take rest at all. Although so much, it's so much, what do you call it, so much modesty and humility Mainaka has offered, the same modesty as I said, no, this is not the time for me to rest, I have to proceed. Saparvata samudrabhyam bahumanada vikshitaha pujitaschopapannabihi ashirviranilatmajaha. What would be the reaction of the ocean and the Mainaka Parvata? They were astonished. Despite all our efforts and giving so much facility for having take rest, he is not at all worried about rest. He is so committed to his work. So both of them, thus Hanuman was thus seen with respect by the ocean and the mountain and also worshipped with suitable blessings. So both of them blessed Hanuman. Go ahead. If so much is your commitment, and you have made a vow, so we do not want to stop you. Go ahead. So we will pause here today.